Hey, we are back, and here's a great example of one that probably people use pretty commonly. And that's when you look at a package of pasta or rice, and a lot of times they might give you an amount of pasta or rice that's either too big or too small for what you're actually making. So this compares 1 cup water to 4 cups pasta. So the two things I'm comparing are cups of pasta and cups of water. And I could have written it the other way around. So this tells us that I have 1 cup water that goes on the bottom to 4 cups of pasta. So a ratio equals a ratio to make a proportion. How much water? So that's what I'm looking for. That's my variable. Do I need to make 6 cups of pasta? So we're making a bigger recipe than what was on the box. Okay, so because my variable is on the bottom, we're just going to make life much easier and flip everything. So cups water over cups pasta works just fine. So now I have to change it. So I have 1 cup water to 4 cups pasta, and I want to know how many cups of water to 6 cups of pasta. So again, using my multiplicative property of multiplication, because I'm dividing, I'm going to multiply to cancel. And again, if it helps you put it over 1, I suggest doing that. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Okay, so I have 6 over 1 times 1 over 4 equals to W. And instead of multiplying across and across, let's simplify first. So I can divide each of these by 2. Okay, so I get 3 over 2 equals to W, and that's really the same thing as 1.5. So 1.5 cups of water equals W. And I really suggest going back and making sure that this makes sense. So if I want to make 4 cups of pasta and I use a cup of water, yeah, it makes sense that if I want to make more pasta, I'm going to use more water and not that much more water. So that checks out to me and it makes sense. And if I wanted to, I could also check it by doing 4 over 1 equals to 6 over, let's keep it over 3 over 2, and I can figure out if that checks. So let's do another one. This one's a recipe for stuffed mushrooms, and we are comparing mushrooms with teaspoons of garlic salt. So number of mushrooms over teaspoons of salt. Okay, so again, ratio equals a ratio, 24 mushrooms to a half teaspoon. Okay, so how many teaspoons? That's my variable. It goes on the bottom since this was salt. Will I need to make 68? 68 goes on the top because it's mushrooms. Again, my variable is on the bottom, so let's just flip it. So a half over 24 is the same thing as T over 68 because mushrooms over salt is the same thing as saying salt over mushroom. So everything's got to change positions top to bottom. All right, so now again, using my multiplicative property of multiplication, I'm going to multiply by 68 to get rid of that 68 that's being divided. So I get T on the right. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to write this out. I have 68 over 1 times a half over 24. So I know that these can both be first divided by 2. So I'm going to put 34 over 12. I can divide by 2 again. So I get 17 over 6. So let's try what we have out. I have 17 times, I'm going to take this 1/2 and take it out like that, times 1/6. Okay, and it's times 1/6 because this 6 is on the bottom. So now I have 17 over 12. 12 goes into 17 one time. There's 5 left over. So that means that all of this is equal to T. And my unit, I'm solving for teaspoons of salt. So 1 and 5/12 teaspoon of salt. So I hope this helps. It's a great thing to learn when you're cooking, and it's just fun to do some extra math. Okay, see you next time. Bye.